What's up everyone, Silverpwn here, and today I have a different video for you guys. I wanted to talk about a what if One Piece game. And now you may be saying, a what if One Piece game, and it's a game that hasn't been created yet, but kind of what I would like to see for them to implement in future games, or a future game itself. This could either be 2D or 3D as well, but I think the reasons I came up with are more catered towards 3D arena fighter type of game, but nonetheless, it can be implemented in 2D as well. But let's just jump straight into it. The first thing for a what if One Piece game that I would love to see is, of course, team selection. Now, team selection is something you see in a lot of different fighter games, be it like Demon Slayer, Naruto, or even Dragon Ball. Usually you're able to pick more than one character if it is like an arena fighter nowadays. Some games do stick to the single player format, and that's fine. But nowadays you have, I want to say specifically with like anime fighters, you have multiple characters in these shows. And so if you make a game, what better way to implement every single character, than just making it a team play game or a team based game. That way you're able to pick, like, if per se it was a One Piece game, I could pick like Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy on the team. Comparative to like a single player based game where I could only pick like Luffy or so. It still would be fun, but you have more of an immersion in the One Piece world, being that you can select more characters, and be it for whatever world of the anime series you want to talk about, like Demon Slayer, Naruto, Jump Force, whatever. So team selection is a must have, so we can just, see all our favorite characters and have them interact together and be able to like swap out in mid battle. If I want to rotate to like Boa Hancock or Kid, I can do that like mid fight, like if they're on my team. I don't have to just sit there and like, oh man, maybe after this fight I'll pick them or whatever. Now I have a chance to try out like 3 different people in one fight, so that's something that should definitely be there, considering it's in mostly like all anime games now. So yeah. Number 2, I want to see transformations, and transformations like a game function. They could go about this in a way where, certain people that have devil fruits, if you trigger their transformation, like Rob Lucci, he would, maybe be in like his base form for most of the fight. When you trigger the transformation, he goes into his hybrid form. I'd like something like this. One Piece Burning Blood kind of does something similar. I know with Sanji, when you hold down the transformation, well, it's not a transformation button, but it's a function where he's able to put on Diablo Jambe right away. And then I know in Pirate Warriors 4, there's also a function where if you're playing as Rob Lucci, he can swap on from the hybrid form and base form, which is very, very cool. So you're able to control how you want to fight and which form you want to fight in. So I want to see that too. And there's more instances of transformations in One Piece, like, you could use like a hockey transformation, like something like Luffy where he combines like hockey and, his devil fruit together, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, transformations, I just want to see that. And characters that don't have a transformation, I feel like it would just be like, they get like a stat boost or something like that. So yeah. Number 3, costume selection. Now this is a huge one for One Piece, because being that One Piece is as big as it is, we usually have implementations of many different outfits in the series. A lot of anime stick to that same trope where it's like, hey, this one character is going to wear this same outfit like every single episode, and you're going to love this outfit for what it is. One Piece takes, some consideration, and they take care, and they actually try to change outfits every now and then. Other series do this now too as well. It's more so common nowadays. But even if you look back at like some old titles like Yu Yu Hakusho, even Yusuke was changing outfits sometimes. So yeah. But One Piece, they always change outfits almost like every other arc, if not every arc. Like everyone has like some different variation of outfit, which is very cool. So if I want to play as like Whole Cake Island costume Luffy, I can do that, or like pre-time skip Zoro's outfit or something like that. And then I remember like Film Gold, everyone had like a dripped out like gold outfit or something like that. That'd be cool to see too. and make it where you can select the costumes like without selecting a new character. So like if I want to pick Whole Cake Island Luffy's costume or whatever, I don't have to go and pick him from Whole Cake Island arc as a separate character. He's just Luffy's all together one character, which is what I want to see too. So yeah, jumping into number 4, raid modes. Now this One Piece 3D game can thrive off of a raid boss mode, being that you could have like one significant enemy like Big Mom or so, and maybe have like 1 to 4 players at max in one lobby, and it may be kind of like messy about how you would go about having, you know, multiple players fighting against one big player in the mode. But I think they could go about it in a certain way that fits nicely. One example that comes to mind is Dragon Ball Legends. Dragon Ball Legends is a mobile game, and it does have like raid battles, and it's centered around 1v1 based combat, where you have, you know, like a team of characters you pick and go into like 1v1 fights in the game. However, they still have a raid boss mode where you can play with somebody else. And they kind of do it in this way where you're both of the characters, you and the other person you're playing with, are lined up towards the raid boss, and you can only kind of move like, you know, in a straight line, but you have to dodge and do different attacks. If One Piece were to go about this, I think they could do it in a way where you can still move around like a regular anime arena fighter, but the raid boss just switches lock on to whoever's attacking most or has the most damage or something like that. And there should be a feature where you can, you know, get the attention of the raid boss if you want to get the attention off the other player or something like that. So like if I'm playing with my friend, you know, and he has like Big Mom's attention and he's just getting like attack after attack, and I'm sitting over here like charging up or whatever, I should be able to like do some type of action to draw her attention to me all of a sudden, so he can gonna, you know, take his time to charge up or do whatever. So raid bosses are definitely possible in a One Piece game. I think it would fit awesomely too with like all the Yonkos that we have and just like all the villains. They could do like a lot of different raid bosses. I think that'd be something cool. They could even do like a Soja King raid boss. I mean, that would be kind of stretching it, but like they could just go crazy with raid bosses, you know, and have like a cool concept. So yeah. Number 5. Online and online tournaments. This is like a must-have for a One Piece game that is an arena fighter, I want to say. If you do have an arena fighter type One Piece game that's, you know, multiplayer functions or whatever, it's gonna have online. That's just something that's gonna be there. However, a tournament mode may not be included. Something that Dragon Ball is mostly known for in their games, which, you know, it's just crazy because in the most recent additions to Dragon Ball, we don't really have tournament modes like we used to. I mean, you could argue Xenoverse has them, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, One Piece's tournament modes would be amazing. We already kind of had a glimpse of that in the Dressrosa Coliseum, you know, back in the Dressrosa arc with Luffy trying to get the Marimar no Mi. We kind of had glimpses of that. So One Piece is capable of, you know, using their own tournaments and doing that. It would also just be very easy for a game. They already have like the whole layout. They could copy the Dressrosa layout as well as, you know, take some inspiration from Dragon Ball here and there. So it's definitely possible. And they could, you know, refresh it, have like a different location, different Coliseum, all of that. So yeah, something I definitely want to see. Number 6, Ultimate Attack flashbacks. Now, this is something that I don't see a lot in a lot of anime games, or anime fighter games specifically. Naruto Storm 4 has taken, you know, like the godparent title for this. Like, they kind of pioneered the flashbacks, and I could be wrong. Another game could have done this as well, but looking at Naruto Storm 4's like ultimate attacks, whenever you go in to do an ultimate and the opponent is like, you know, low health or whatever, it triggers this cutscene where you kind of see like the character's like inner thoughts, like right before they hit the attack and land the attack. And that just, you know, that feels so, it feels so right, you know, because it is an anime, and like every time you're watching a show, most of the characters have like inner dialogue, which is very cool. Now Now, One Piece isn't, they're not a newcomer to this by any means. They've actually tried this format a little bit in previous games. It could have just been this one game I'm talking about, but that one game being Burning Blood 2. I remember using Sanji, the Hell Memories cutscene. Whenever you do like Hell Memories on an opponent, it triggers this little cutscene where he remembers like his times in the Kamabaka Kingdom where he was just running away from all the drags or whatever. And it's very cool because it's not like it's a cutscene that triggers no matter what, and if you do the ultimate attack, but it doesn't have to be, the opponent doesn't have to have low health for it to happen. But if One Piece wanted to like go about this method in a new game, I think that you kind of copy the inspiration from Naruto Storm 4 and use this too. Demon Slayer already did that. Demon Slayer has their own cutscenes for ultimate attacks when they're about to kill the opponent, so One Piece can do it as well. I feel like Dragon Ball will eventually like play with this this gimmick in the future, but we'll just have to see. But yeah, definitely some cool cutscenes. Like, I know Luffy doesn't have like inner monologue. Okay, so my audio actually cut out here for a split second. I don't know why, but it seems like it's been happening in like most of my recordings, but it didn't happen for too long. It'll go right back to the video here in a second. But yeah, I just figured I'd let you guys know so there wasn't like a super long pause. Also, while I'm sitting here, I guess I might as well just say subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. Stay tuned for more content coming up, and let me know if you like One Piece content on the channel. If you guys do, I plan on doing some more. So yeah, back to the video. Anyway, on to number 7, awakening functions. Now, this kind of goes back into number 2, like what I was saying with transformations, but awakenings would be more so like if the character has built up a gauge over time from taking damage from the other player, kind of like Jump Force goes about it. Jump Force has like this this little function where like every time you take damage in the game, it's filling up this ultimate meter on your character, and once the meter reaches halfway, you're able to trigger an ultimate attack and also go into an awakening form to make your attack stronger and whatnot. Now, if you were going about a One Piece game, you should be able to stack on a transformation as well as an awakening for even more damage, which would be cool. So if you're playing as like a Devil Fruit user, he can go into his transformation, pop an awakening, and then he has an ultimate on top of that. This would make for more dynamic gameplay and have like more layers to the combat as well. And I feel that would be like something interesting. So every single time you're taking damage with like, say like Chopper's bar will fill up. You can hit awakening with him, and then it kind of just gives him like this cool little aura, or maybe like, I don't know, and all his attacks are just boosted, and physical attacks, Devil Fruit attacks, all of it is boosted. Chopper also has a transformation too, so he could do this as well. He could do transformation as well as awakening, which would be very cool to see. But characters that don't have any transformation, they would just go straight into an awakening, like Jump Force, where they kind of just get like, a physical boost where you can kind of see like aura, or the color kind of pops off their skin or whatever, and they're just more powerful now. But yeah, like I said, if you have a transformation on top of this, it would make more of a devastating attack, which, One Piece, it makes sense because that's how One Piece operates. Like, if somebody was to, go into like a transformation and layer it on top of Haki or whatever, like they're gonna have like a devastating attack. So yeah. And we can take examples of this from like multiple instances where like, you can even use Gear 5th if you want. Gear 5th is a transformation on top of like Haki implementation to the max. So Gear 5th will just kind of give you an idea what I'm talking about. I don't know if I said the possibility to use an ultimate attack as well. So if you go into an awakening, you should automatically have a chance to use an ultimate attack for a certain amount of time. Like the bar will drain if you don't use your ultimate, but it's there. So yeah, the bar drains down if you don't do anything over time. Like if you're just running around, the bar will drain down eventually. But you know, it's still a considerable amount of time for you to act and get a couple of attacks in and pop an ultimate before it all runs out. So yeah, on to the next point. A stamina and skill usage display. So the reason I bring this up is because I don't know how they would go about different vanishes or whatever. I do feel like there should be some type of escape function where if you're getting hit, you can drop out of the combo like almost every anime fighter has. It shouldn't be where you can spam the ability though. It should be kind of structured in a way where you have to kind of really think about what times you want to drop out of an attack and what times you should actually take an attack. Because there's going to be situations where it's like, hey, this ultimate's going to pop up. Should I take this ultimate? So it's like, should I take this ultimate or should I have this ultimate land on me? Because I don't want to waste my escape. And this would all be done with like the use of a HUD. I don't know what kind of function One Piece would go about their escapes with, but I know Naruto it's like substitutions, Dragon Ball it's vanish, Demon Slayer you kind of have like your second person come and grab you and throw you out. That could be how One Piece works too, because in Burning Blood if you get attacked, you can kind of trigger like this support function where the person next in line on your team will jump out and like hit that opponent away or whatever. So maybe that could be something where, you know, if you're playing with like Usopp, Sanji, and Nami, if Usopp's getting bombarded with attacks and you want to use your escape function, maybe Sanji hops out, kicks everybody away from Usopp, and then there's a recharge rate on Sanji again before you can use him. But you still have Nami there too. So that'd be 2 escapes right there. So it could just be dependent on character, because I don't think One Piece has any universal function where people are escaping. It would have to play into, you know, people actually helping you out, like Demon Slayer. So yeah. And maybe if somebody has hockey as well, the hockey makes the character a little bit more difficult to use, because I think hockey would have like its own separate display, separate from like stamina and your skill bar or whatever. However the HUD works, because they're going to be like, we know there's going to be a health bar, there's going to be some type of special attack bar, and then you could probably go like, you know, hockey bar if you want. And that's kind of going into my next point too. So let's get into number 9, which is hockey. Characters that use hockey will be more difficult to use when using attacks that utilize hockey. This could be easily done by making it some quick functions separate from special attack and health bars. Example, Sanji using Diablo Janbei in Burning Blood, or Luffy charging his hockey. Characters with no hockey with this quick function would be able to be replaced as a devil fruit action or simply a special action for a character if they have no devil fruit or hockey. Meaning that there's going to be a button for you to be able to use hockey. So if a character has like hockey implementation like Luffy, and maybe you hold RB like Burning Blood, and the hockey kind of surrounds your character, and every time you attack while holding RB now, your attacks have hockey overlay. And you can still go into your transformation like Gear 4th or whatever if you want, but that makes it a little bit more difficult to use hockey users, because you kind of have to watch the hockey bar, and utilizing hockey would probably let you get around a lot of different Logia users like Burning Blood does, where if you pick somebody like Sabo in Burning Blood and you hold RB, you go into your Logia form, where if someone hits you, the attacks just go straight through you. But if I were to pick Luffy against that Sabo, like I said, and I hold RB with my Luffy, the hockey overcoats him, and I'll be able to attack Sabo at that point. So hockey characters would be a massive they'd probably be higher tier in the game for sure, especially if they have Conqueror's hockey and whatnot. But characters that don't have hockey, like let's go with Nami. If you hold RB with Nami, maybe it just has like another special action for Nami instead of her using like a hockey ability, and she'll have no hockey display. But characters that have hockey, it'll be like one function where you can hold down a button and the hockey coats their body, and you have to hold it while comboing, and while you're holding the button, it'll drain down that bar. That's how like I see it working. It could probably be a little bit more of a smoother way, but the way I'm talking about it, I've seen this implemented in Burning Blood 2, And that's where I'm drawing most of my explanation from here. So yeah. And this brings me into my final point at number 10, team supers and ultimate attacks. The ability to be able to utilize some of the type of crazy team attack that we've seen in other games or even the anime. So even like Zoro using Usopp as a sword in the NS Lobby arc. That could be like a team attack where if you have Zoro on your team and Usopp on your team, Zoro he picks up Usopp and then it's just all of a sudden like this crazy like attack that does like some crazy amount of damage for no reason. I know also One Piece Odyssey, they have team attacks in them, though it's possible to as well. They have team attacks between different Straw Hats, like Sanji, Nami, and Luffy have their own attack, Zoro, Usopp, and Chopper have their own attack, and then Robin, Nami, Sanji, and Zoro have their own attack. Different Straw Hats have different combination attacks with each other, so that's pretty cool. And they could go about this as well as using some of the ones that we've seen in Odyssey and put those in the game, and that'd be very cool to see. And they could just in turn make completely new attacks between them together. So we could see like an Usopp Luffy Robin combo that we've never seen before in the game, and it'd be very cool. And they could also do this with villains too. You could have like Crocodile, Buggy, and Mihawk have some crazy combo together. Shanks and some of his crew have a combo together. And then we could even have like some characters that are already dead, like like a spoiler alert, but Whitebeard and Ace, team attacks, like a what if team attack. Certain things like that would be very cool to see. And if you add this with the flashback, and if you add this with the ultimate attack flashbacks, like I said in number 6, you have a crazy anime One Piece fighter game, which would be amazing. So team attacks are something that definitely need to be implemented in the game. But yeah, I definitely just want to see team attacks get shown a different type of way. I don't know if we've seen a ton of them in the anime, but I'm sure there's like instances where we've seen team attacks before. I know like Sanji and Zoro stopped Luffy from kicking through that one building on that one time pre-time skip. Like it kind of some ultimate attack as well. I don't know how they go about it. But yeah. The point is, they could get really creative with this and make it something very, very cool. So yeah. I also want to take the time and mention that I made a video talking about the evolution of One Piece games, and if you like this video, please go check that video out. I talk about the modern iteration of One Piece games, starting from, around Burning Blood all the way to Odyssey, where we're at now. And so yeah, that kind of gave me inspiration to make this video about a One Piece what if fighter game. In this video, it isn't perfect, but my points could be tidied up a little bit more, but I tried a little bit. So if you enjoyed the video, thank you a lot. Leave I want to aim for 10 likes on this video. That'd be my like goal. And this video is a little bit out of my niche or whatever, but I want to make more One Piece content in the future. This is like a starting point for me. So yeah. Sorry, I was talking a little bit faster in this whole video because I have something to do later, but I kind of had to rush through it. But I think I said everything I needed to say. So thank you guys for watching the video. Like I said again, 10 likes, and I'll catch you guys in the future. Peace.